It is a fantastic day outside, and I figured I'd use the time to get the turbos, the new turbos in with the upgraded wastegates. Over here we've got a beautiful package of the turbos. Now these ones have the upgraded wastegates, so we can pray that they don't rattle. Alrighty, so let's get to it. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take these out. Drain the coolant, get the vacuum canisters out, and then basically we can start getting these out, boost solenoids. I don't know why that's up. And then we can start jacking the car up and getting the subframe down. Draining the coolant right now. It's green. It's not good. Should be blue. Oh well. Had to basically remove the intercooler to gain access to the drain plug. So as you can see, there's a bit of room there. And once that's all drained, then we can drain the oil. So I've just managed to get the vacuum canisters out. Now I've just got to take this out, which is I've already unbolted these two. Just got to unbolt the bottom one, and then that should be out, and that should give us a lot more room in this way. Right now I've got the coolant reservoir gone. Now I'm just taking off the boost solenoids. Just making sure I've got a video proof of how they go back together. But there's always stuff online, so that's no problems. I'm going to take these off, and I think we should be good from the top end. We'll get underneath. So right now we're just draining the oil. Got to reuse it, so I found a nice clean container. It's only dirty on the outside, but it's going to be really easy to put back in. And we'll reuse it because I've only just serviced it 2,000 Ks ago. So we'll reuse that and put it back in the engine after that's done. It's just another quick one. I've made sure that I've labelled all of these, especially when you're doing a job like this. There's going to be a lot of bolts to take out and make sure you've got them organised. So I've been making sure to label mine. So I've got vacuum cans, canisters, washer bottle, making sure that I've got all those bolts back where I need them when I'm putting them back together. So I'll be doing the same with basically every subframe bolt and the turbo bolts. So right now I've got the engine gearbox support in place. So that's pretty solid. It's had to grind down the hook because it actually didn't fit. As you can see, clearance was incredibly close, so I had to grind that down to actually make it fit because it's quite low. But this thing is pretty much ready for the subframe to be dropped. So right now we've got the car up in the air, and we'll be focusing on dropping the subframe, getting all the tie rods and suspension out of the way, and then we're dropping the steering rack and moving that out of the way. And then we've got to drop the subframe, get the exhaust out, and then that will be out of the way, and then we can get to the turbos, which is going to be pretty tight, but we'll get them out eventually. So right now I've just removed the tie rods. steering rod. I'm just about to undo the actual steering column, steering rod, whatever it's called. Get that sort of swung out the way, whichever way this way goes, and then just tuck it up under there, and then we can start getting off the subframe and dropping that all, and then exhaust. We've got Daniel over here helping me out. And then we've basically now got the steering rack and steering column out. I don't know, we're probably going to put that up the top somewhere because that's got heaps of play, so we can probably push it up to the top. Subframe will come out, and then downpipes, and then I reckon we'll call it a day. I'll do the rest tomorrow. So we've got the subframe out. There's a bit of a bitch to do. Steering rack is out the way. Steering column is just sort of sitting there. I'll probably move it up later on because it's just we can get that out of the way. It'll be easier. But now basically I'm just gonna do the downpipes and I'll call it a day and get on to the rest tomorrow. What's going on? So today I am back here in the workshop. I've just got a couple more things to do to take out before we can put the new turbos in. So basically we're just going to take out the thermostat assembly. We'll grab that out. That's I think the last thing to do before we can take out the turbos, and then we'll go on and start getting off the lines. And then we'll put the new ones back in and we'll see how that goes, and then we'll have to assemble everything back together. Well, it should be a big day. That's what we're going to get started on. So I've just taken off all of the, pretty much all of the coolant lines. We've got about, I think, one oil line left on that one, that coolant line and oil line on that one, and then this one should be pretty much out, and then I'll get started onto that one. So right now both of those turbos are out, and now we're going to be basically, I've got all the oil lines, I'm just replacing the O-rings. So I've got brand new genuine O-rings from BMW. And I'm just going to put those on, and then there is also a gasket that goes up here, so I've got that one as well from Beamer, and we're going to put that on and then put everything back together. So I haven't really been filming much, but I've got both two of the turbos in. Heat shields are in. The heat shields slide in under so you can put the turbos on. All of the bolts are done up. Oil lines are at the back. I haven't hooked up these yet, but I'm going to do those next before I do that. I've just tightened that, and then I'm going to put in the coolant hose in, and then we can get to the rest of the assembly. What's going on, guys? So quick update. I've got the turbos in. I've got all of the oil lines, all of the coolant lines, thermostat. I've got a brand new thermostat that I put in. The water pump's back in. It's all plugged in. So that's all of that is done. I've got to plug that in. That's all clipped in. That will be fine like that for now. The inlets are almost in. Now a quick tip for you guys is this V-band is all the way on the other side when you're undoing it. Massive pain in the ass. So what I've done is I flipped it so you can just literally just go straight in and get a socket onto it, Torx onto it, and it's just so much easier when you have to do it again. So yeah. So another tip while you're putting in your downpipes, make sure you do it always when you've got everything out. Just because I'm putting everything back together, you'll notice that sometimes it doesn't line up. So what you can do is you can unbolt it and spin it a little bit, and that should line it back up into this. It's definitely a rookie mistake that I made when I first put these exhaust manifolds in. Downpipes in. We basically just bolted them in, and we didn't line this up. So when we put everything back together and this didn't line up, we had a massive exhaust leak. So it's best to make sure you put this perfectly into place. Otherwise you will get an exhaust leak because it won't line up as it should. That's definitely a tip that I wish I knew when I was doing my downpipes for the first time. Yeah, so it's take that into consideration, because you'll save a lot of time when you're seriously putting everything back together. Otherwise you'll have to take it all out, and you don't want to do that, trust me. So as you can see, I've just aligned it and it's pretty much on the money right there. So it's pretty good. And the other one will be this one here, which will have to be probably moved a bit as well. So it's definitely handy to make sure you've got this accessible, just so you can adjust that, because that will save you a lot of time. I'm basically about to put the subframe in. I think I've got everything back together. I'm pretty positive because I've checked all of my containers. All of the bolts are empty where they need to be empty. And I reckon now is the time that the subframe goes back in. But I'm by myself, so I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to give it a shot. And if I can't do it, I'm just going to have to wait until I get a hand. Oh man, alright. Forget this, I'm not doing that by myself. That's just not going to work. So I was just putting the steering shaft in. Now I'll give you a quick tip. If you keep going from underneath and try and get the actual shaft in, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Go from above, you're going to get so much more clearance when you've got this shield off, heat shield off. I'll just increase the brightness. Then you can actually, I don't know if you can see very well down there, but you can pretty much pull it into the shaft itself. And it's so much easier getting it from up here. Don't try from underneath. So it's getting pretty late now. I've pretty much put the whole subframe back in. All of the sort of braces, steering rack is back in. This side, all of the steering shaft, all of the rods are in. So that is all solidly done. That's bolted on. So I'm pretty much going to be finished up for today. It's getting pretty late. I've been at it all day. So I'm just going to call it a day and get back to it tomorrow and basically finish the rest. What we've got to do is we've got to drain the rest of the coolant, do it a bit of a flush. I was going to put some rainwater through it just to get all the shitty old stuff out. And then we're putting the new BMW blue coolant in. And then basically intercooler will go back on. And then just do the stuff from the top, like the air canisters and the coolant reservoir, and that will be it. And then we can start her up and see how that goes. What is going on? So it is day 3 of the E92 turbo replacements. Hopefully today we'll be getting it done. So basically there's only a few things left. I would say, so we've got the sway bar, sway bar linkages to put back in. We've got this rod to put back in. That side is all finished, so that one's all good. It's all been torqued. That's the sway bar. Steering rack's all in. Intercooler will have to come on, but before that we'll probably do a coolant flush, because I've got all the coolant. And I think that will be it. I mean, it sort of gives me ideas to put a custom intercooler in later on, but it's getting into winter, so it's probably not going to be that necessary until summer. Apart from that, I think we've got to put the. I'm gonna leave the vacuum canisters out because I feel like they could probably clear out a bit of room there, make it look a little bit more tidy. But then we've got to put the coolant reservoir tank in and boost solenoids, and that's it. And then the oil will go in. I think we'll prime it a little bit for about 30 seconds, and then we can start it. Oh, power is back in. So right now we've unplugged all the coils, just so we get oil flow when I start it, like try and start it. That way it gets to the turbos, because we do not want to run the turbos dry with no oil. So I'm just plugging in battery so we don't get a loose connection. And then we'll give it a crank. So, alright, that battery is on. So that's done. I reckon everything is tight. crank it.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. I'm going to crank it now for a bit and then we'll see if the oil...
Just do it like, just flip it and then see what happens, and if it looks all good then keep holding
True.
it, keep cranking it.
Alright, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, when you're ready. Yeah.
I think that should get the oil pumping. Oh, damn it. Because I'm not trying to lie. I can't see these corners.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
This guy.
In any last famous words? Sorry, famous last words.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Don't trust this mechanic.
Don't trust mechanic. Just wait. Dude, I'm so nervous because, yeah, well, I did this. That's how loud injectors are. I'm impressed.
Very nice. The oil burning, that's right. Yeah. So leaks, alright. Where's the fire extinguisher?
Well, I guess what we can do is leave it running and then
Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it.
The face of disappointment.
But it's
No, it's
fuzzy,
alright.
right?
It's just because of the oil.
I can send it like rev limiter.
Oh yeah, sure, man. Alright, and just keep an eye out on it. Dude, look this. Oh my god, that was so nerve-wracking.
Bleed that off.
Yeah, we'll have to bleed it. We'll just get the heater at full.
Yeah, do a little bit, but there's no one here.
It's coming out, yeah, so I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. Wow, that sounds so good.
So Seb got pissed about his turbo rattling, so he messaged the guy he bought it from. You know.
Yeah, I was actually devastated. I was like, no way, as if they still rattle. Like, that's an actual joke. And then we took the MHD wastegate settings off, and bam, not one rattle, bro.
Yeah.
Not one rattle.
Alright, well, E30. E36 over there.
Alright, let's have a sauce. Oh my god, they're so crisp. Oh,
Wow,
it's so
that's nice.
beautiful. Oh my god. Oh man. I'm actually so happy now. That is just nuts. Oh, you can hear them spool away. Oh, alright, we'll take it easy.
What?
Holy shit.
Give us grip already.
Yeah, I did. Oh, and you can hear the turbos all the way and no rattle. Oh my god, bro. Oh! Oh! Oh my goodness, bro. I'm actually very impressed with that. There's like not an inch of rattle. Woo! Man! I've never been so happy in my life, bro. As soon as I heard that rattle before, I literally almost cried. Well, it's been a success. New turbos are in, they sound amazing and they actually spool so hard. because I took the MHD rattle fix off, that means there's no lag anymore.
Oh, right.
Because the lag fix was meant to close the wastegates when they needed to be closed, but always open. But man, that sounds amazing. Dude. I'm so happy, man. That took me so much work to do all that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, need a turbo again.
Yeah, I heard you're gonna get those withdrawal symptoms.